Lenox Hill. So we are here today, Celeste, Tyler, and Mateo. We're at festival, and I have had the pleasure of being at festival before, having what I believe is one of your watermelon cocktails, as well as the potato pizza, which was very, very good as well. And you know, being that I live in the neighborhood and everything, I thought it would be, you know, great to make sure everyone is aware that festival is here. I wanted to ask you just a few questions. So how did you guys come up with the idea for the restaurant and the concept of festival?
So the cafe is based around our farm to bar concept. We pretty much coined this term in New York City, and there is no other beverage program that specifically sources locally within 100 miles, and you know, some farms grow things exactly for us. Wow. And then that is then put right into the beverage program. So we truly are a farm to bar concept, with cocktails being first. And then the cafe grew out of our festival, which is called Secret Summer, and that's 1,000 people that happen at the Foundry every summer.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Very interesting. Okay.
Wow.
So 1,000 people that get together, basically, like at the Foundry to.
Yeah. So the Foundry is an event venue, typically a wedding venue in Long Island City. Beautiful stone and ivy, a huge courtyard.
Okay.
And Secret Summer is a celebration of cocktails and brands and live music and dance and art, culture, food. It's a beautiful Sunday in August.
Awesome. All right, so we are going to have to check that out in the future now that you brought it up. And for anyone else that wasn't aware of that, like, now we know. So
yeah, hungry and thirsty at the same time.
So how did you end up picking a location for Lenox Hill?
Well, you know, we were really looking. It took me 2 years to actually find a commercial real estate area, a location that really fit what we needed. One of the things we decided way back when is, do we want to be in an area with a lot of other bars and restaurants, or do we want to be in an area that doesn't have that?
Yeah.
And so that's one of the big reasons we chose this area. There's really not a lot in this 5-block radius.
Yeah.
There's a couple of very well-known restaurants that have been there a very long time, but there's certainly no bars in this area, bars of, you know, a certain quality level that aren't just a dive bar or an Irish pub, basically. So we really looked for an area that was missing something. In addition to that, you know, the space had to have high ceilings. It had to have a significant basement, you know, for all the prep and everything. And so this space really sort of fit the bill. Nice. But it was horrible trying to find it. It was a horrible process. It took me 2.5 years. Went through 12 brokers. It was not easy.
We were not involved in that.
And now you know
we're on the residential side. But it's definitely finding the perfect commercial space can be very challenging for what we've heard from our colleagues that work in that space for sure.
Absolutely. And following that question, so clearly Lenox Hill won, but what would have been the second place spot?
Actually, we had a signed lease.
Okay.
So we had a signed lease in a spot on 72nd Street and 2nd Avenue.
Okay.
That the deal fell through. I can't remember why it fell through, but the deal fell through, and now it's like now that space, which is right next to the subway stop on 72nd Street, is some sort of like bodega.
Okay. Well, now you know clearly the better location won out. So
I'd like to think so. You know, the neighborhood has been very good to us, and you know, we have a lot of, you know, very you know, regulars for that matter. A lot of people we see all the time, neighborhood folk. Because really we're a neighborhood bar first and foremost.
Yep. Absolutely. I will say I have twins, so I don't get to have too much of a social life anymore these days, but when I have, this has been a great spot for us to be able to pop over to. So which is part of how we thought of you. So tell us, what is the most popular drink on the menu, and then to follow up that, probably the most popular food that you would suggest if people come over to festival?
So right now the espresso martini is definitely having its moment in the sun. I would definitely say, you know, that is a very hot cocktail right now, and our espresso martini is very interesting and unique. So unlike, you know, normal espresso martinis that use vodka, we actually use a spiced rum in there,
Oh,
and it
wow.
adds a little bit more nuance.
Absolutely.
It kind of matches the flavor qualities of the coffee anyway.
Okay.
In addition to that, we add a French almond liqueur called Orgeat. And that brings out sort of like the nuttiness of the coffee.
Yeah.
And then the coffee we actually use is cold brew. So
Okay.
there is no dilution.
There we go.
It is a straight shot of espresso martini and truly delicious. And $12 all weekend long.
Ah,
So it's on
very
special
good to
every
know.
Saturday and
There you go.
Sunday.
Well, both of us are a fan of espresso
Mm-hmm.
and a fan of martinis, so we may have to have our
We'll
next
have to
happy
roll
hour
in
over
this
here.
weekend.
Yes. So we're coming out of festival. Our takeaways here are that Mateo and I are going to come back. We want to try those baked oysters that they have, and we want to try that amazing espresso martini as well. And thank you, Tyler, for taking your time with us today. We're excited for our next adventure festival.